to the number 22 team. That's the Michigan State Spartans. My name is Tony Lamarzi. So glad you could be with us here on the Big Ten Network. I'm pleased to welcome in my partner, Jeff Rohrman. Jeff, it's two pretty hot teams. The Terps still undefeated at 5-0-2. Michigan State comes in having won their last 4 games. So a lot to play for in this matchup early in the Big Ten season.
Yeah, it should be a great game, and it's an outstanding atmosphere again here at College Park. And as you allude to, Michigan State is on a bit of a run and coming off a great win against Michigan. That's always a very emotional game for Michigan State. So they're riding high, but to me it's going to be a matter of how their young players deal with this atmosphere. They've got 5 freshmen and sophomores in this starting lineup, so we'll see how they can handle this atmosphere, and certainly the caliber of team in the Maryland Terrapins.
Certainly a lot of storylines that we can watch unfold tonight. Very quickly, let's go through the starting lineup. We'll begin with the visiting team there. They're dressed in green, Michigan State. The goalie is number 1, the sophomore Jimmy Haig. 4 defenders across the back, Connor Corrigan, Jimmy Fiskus, Michael Wetungu, and Dewey Lewis. 5 players in the midfield, 2 holding midfielders, number 8, Brad Santala, and number 5, Michael Pimblott. On the left side, number 22 is Ken Kralicki. On the other side, number 12, Andrew Hurd, their leading assist man. The attacking midfielders, number 10, Giuseppe Baroni. He's a freshman. And in front of him, their lone striker is number 11, the sophomore, Ryan Sierakowski, one of the most dangerous players in the Big Ten. And for the Terps, it's a similar lineup that we've seen here for the Terps, just one noticeable change. The goalie is the same. That's number 1, the senior Cody Niedermeyer. The left back is different. Andrew Samuels, the sophomore, making his first start of the season. He's going to be out at left back. Across the back for the Terps, number 5, Suli Denka. Number 4, Alex Cornale. Number 28 is the right back, Chris Odoyasam. 3 seniors in the back line for head coach Sasho Sarowski. In the midfield, number 25, the graduate student is Cody Albrecht. He's the holding midfielder. In front of him is number 19, Eric Williamson. The outside players, number 10, Amar Sadich, number 12, Jake Rosansky, and the 2 starting strikers, number 9, Sebastian Elney, and number 8, Gordon Wild. Wild is the leading scorer in the whole Big Ten Conference with 8 goals, including 3 game-winning goals, and we are underway here in College Park. The Spartans moving from right to left. They're wearing green. The Terps wearing their white uniforms here at home. They sometimes wear those red and black vertical stripes at home. I like these white uniforms, Jeff.
Yeah, it's a good-looking uniform, and they certainly have done well here at Ludwig Field. You know, for me, the Gordon Wild factor this year has really helped this Maryland Terrapin so far this season. Very dangerous in the box and certainly creative. He's created a couple of good penalty kicks these last few games.
He has been just great. If you haven't had a chance to see number 8 for the Terps, he is a big-time scorer. Can do a lot of things. Very powerful, a left-footed player. So keep an eye on him. In case you lose sight of him. He's got that bright blonde hair now, too. That's him in pursuit there. Good high pressure from the Terps. Trying to wrestle it away. Hard sliding challenge there from Fiskus, but it still comes out for the Terps. Flicked over the top. Coming through is Williamson. It deflects a while. There he is, blocked away, and then escorted away by Fiskus to the sideline. A good surge by the Terps. A lot of high pressure, as they always do. They like to play that way on the road too, but certainly at home they're energized by the crowd here. There's Sebastian Elney trying to keep it in. He knocked it off of the defender, but it was already out. Goal kick coming out for the Spartans and their sophomore goalie, Jimmy Haig. You mentioned, Jeff, how well the Terps have been doing at home. A perfect 4-0 at home, 14 goals for, 4 goals against, 14 goals in their 4 home games. That's about a goal every 26 minutes.
That's a great start. And they're certainly off to a great start here tonight, putting the Spartans under a lot of pressure, and I think that's certainly what Sasha Sarowski wants from this Terrapin team, especially given how young this Spartan team is, and see how they respond here. It's a raucous crowd here.
This is Giuseppe Baroni. Good skills over near the corner flag. 2 defenders forcing him away, but Baroni keeps possession, trying to change the point of attack. They lost a lot of real estate there. It was near the corner flag. They'll keep possession back near midfield. Here's Wetungu. Santala. Hard sliding challenge there from Gordon Wild. He was very late coming in. The referee giving the free kick. We'll see if it's a card or just a lecture early in the game, so you can set the tone. Referee just a lecture there, telling him to think it through. Not a very wise challenge. The ball had long been played. And just a Just a warning, thank goodness.
Well, it looks like Coach Damon Rensing is trying to get an explanation from the referee. That was definitely, in many cases, a cardable offense. But
sure.
early in the game, as you allude to, Tony, he usually wants to calm him down and will usually go with a warning.
Connor Corrigan plays the free kick in, knocked into the middle. That's Baroni again. Couldn't quite keep possession. Coming back to help out was Wild. He's working about 1-on-6, and he does well to... Oh, no, I thought the referee blew the whistle. Just they took it away from him. He was wrestled away, a crowd of players. Spartans have it. Long diagonal ball. Blocked away by Samuels. That's the one new addition in the starting lineup for the Terps. For this Spartans team, they've started the same lineup every single game this season. So a lot of familiarity and comfortable players working out there. Here's Odoyatsa curling in over the head of Rosansky. Blocked away by Fiskus. Sort of a bad touch there as it was coming out for Krolicki. And then a low clearance that goes out of play. The right back here for Maryland is 28, Odoyatsa. Down the line towards Elney, blocked away. Another throw incoming. Corrigan was there defending for the Spartans. Rosansky with the touch. Odoyatsa toward the corner flag. And it rolls out on the sideline. So you'll see the white shirts coming forward. Trying to force another turnover or lock the Spartans in. Long throw down the sideline is flicked on. Cronale plays it forward for the Terps. Headed away, and it comes out for Sadic. Good skills to control it. Loses out, though. Kept in play by Albrecht. Wild went down after a sliding play. The crowd wanted a foul. The referee was standing right there. Said no chance. Slow ball back to the keeper. Rosansky was pressuring for the Terps, but it's smashed away by Haig. Flick forward, trying to get onto it. And good speed there by Andrew Hare, but it's quickly taken away.
Tell you, neither team has given up anything in terms of the physical play. There's a lot of tough tackles going on right here from the beginning. Both coaches in the year of the fourth official.
Well, it was an important decision by the ref to not give that yellow card on Wild, and now I think the players have a little freedom to be a little more aggressive until the ref says, you know, you got to knock it out, and he'll pull the card out of his pocket. Corrigan throws it down the line, flicked into the middle for Sierakowski, trying to team up there with Krolicki. Blocked away by the Terps. Sadic does well to keep it in play for Gordon Wild. Conference's leading scorer. Chips it over the top, looking for Sebastian Elney. Racing against Fiskus. Kept in play. Elney has it. Waiting for some teammates. Nobody was in the box at first. Now crossed in. It's sitting there. Williamson gets to it. Eric Williamson trying to use his skills. It comes out for Sadic. Keeps it moving back for Elney. Sebastian Elney shoots and it's saved. Oh no, it's just out wide. I thought the goalie got a piece of it. Maybe it glanced off the outside of the post.
Yeah, it looked like it hit the post. The question was whether it hit his hand and then hit the post. But great little sequence for the Terrapins there. Get another look here. Still a little bit tough to tell.
There was not a lot of complaining from the Terps, so it must have just glanced off the post only.
Yeah, I'd like to see him come across the goal. That way, if it's saved, then you potentially get a rebound, you know, in a good spot in the center there.
Quickly the other way after the long goal kick. That was Baroni holding it up. Now Corrigan crossing it in. Sort of sails on him and is right to the Terps keeper, Cody Niedermeyer. Samuels accelerating across midfield. Still moving forward. Here's Amar Sadic. Three players around him. Slots it ahead for Elney, who dummies it. Coming through is Rosansky. Jake Rosansky shoots, and he missed it. He was well defended. There was a defender riding him, but you've got to hit the target from that good a position.
Well, it looked like at the last minute he might have got nudged just enough to take him off balance. But a great little dummy there to free him up.
Very nice run from Andrew Samuels on the quick distribution from the keeper.
Yeah, it was a great little ball through as well.
Yeah, very good.
Two good chances for the Terps here in the first 8 minutes.
The long ball flicked forward. Cronale heads it back for the Terps. Cody Albrecht heads it back for Samuels. And on the far side, the Terps win a free kick as Williamson got jumped over. So this defense for the Spartans, 3 straight shutouts coming in, 309 minutes without giving up a goal. That's pretty good. And add about another 9 minutes now. That's the only team that hasn't given up a goal in Big Ten play, the Spartans.
Yeah, they're usually a tough, stingy bunch.
Yep.
You know, of Midwestern boys, and you know, Michigan has it's a great state for soccer, and Michigan State certainly gets some of the best of them for sure.
The ball coming in on the ground, controlled there by Krolicki, plays it out wide. Corrigan. Ken Krolicki again, gets a touch from Sentala. Good possession by Michigan State. Dewey Lewis, the right back, coming forward, slats it through. Andrew Herr trying to win a corner, and he cannot. He loses out. Throwing for Maryland. We've seen a lot of teams come in here into Ludwig Field, and a lot of them, Jeff, with seems like increasing numbers of international players. But you mentioned that there's a lot of good soccer players in Michigan. This particular program doesn't really do a lot of international recruiting, but they've got a lot of very good Michigan and Midwest players.
They absolutely do, and that's been the kind of the heart and soul of this program ever since Joe Baum was the head coach here.
Good fighting there from Corrigan to take it away from Albrecht.
Tell you, Michigan State's come
Spartans.
out and
Yeah.
they're trying to play, and they're trying to keep it and play in the attacking half here. So many times, Tony, we see teams come in and kind of just sit back and look for the counter, but Michigan State is trying to do some things and get themselves forward in numbers.
All the way to the end line. That was the left back Corrigan who played that dangerous ball into the penalty area. Dealt with by the Terps, but they couldn't keep possession. Good step there by Watungu, and quickly with Sentala, it's back toward the top of the box.
I think the one thing Damon Rensing's going to be a little concerned about is Maryland on the break here, where in 2-3 passes are they in the penalty box.
You can see a lot of green shirts getting back behind
forward.
the ball. Wild gets nudged off, trying to win it back, and good defending again. And it's out for another goal kick. It's a beautiful evening here in College Park, just outside the nation's capital. It was pretty hot today in the sun, even in the late afternoon, but now that the sun has gone down, the temperature has dropped a lot, and it should not be as uncomfortable as some of those games over the past few weeks when it's been very hot and very humid, even into the late hours. Conditions pretty close to perfect here today at Ludwig Field. A raucous crowd, just like every Friday night. Tons of students filling the sections behind the goals. They call themselves the Crew. And there is a pretty large section of Spartans fans that are here also. They are not a huge section, but they are pretty loud. There was a nice ovation when the Spartans made their way out onto the field.
Yeah, there's a lot of loyalty with that school, and being in the DC area, you're going to get alumni in this area that come out and support their teams.
Suli Denka plays it out wide. The left back is Andrew Samuels. Wild coming back to collect it. His one-touch pass out wide. Goes out. Dewey Lewis trying to work on the far side with Sierakowski.
Talking with Damon Rensing earlier today, that was one of his concerns, was how the young group is going to react to all these students screaming and yelling and getting in their face. But they seem to have ridden this out pretty well this first 10-15 minutes.
The Terps are the #1 team in the country, but Michigan State has a better in-conference record, perfect with 2 wins and 2 tries. The Terps have 2 wins and 1 draw. So I think confidence must be riding high for the Spartans. Into the top 25 now, which they were not in recent weeks. You can certainly see this game as a great opportunity if you're a Spartans fan or player. go in, knock off the #1 team, stay at the top of the conference?
Well, you can approach these games in one of a couple different ways. It can make you nervous and tense and, come in a little tentative. Or you can go in and say we have nothing to lose. So let's just throw caution to the wind and trust our instincts and go after it. So
still coming forward. That was a good touch there. The cross coming toward the back post. Odoy Atsam, let's go. It's headed. And not a lot of power on it. Sierkowski found just enough space, and it took a strange bounce before the Terps defender, Odoy Atsam. So it went past him, but by the time it got to Sierkowski, he could not generate a lot of power or direction. Dangerous chance, though.
Yeah, it skipped off the ground and caught Chris Odoy Atsam off guard there. I certainly miscalculated the bounce.
Pimlott, the freshman, plays it forward. Good running again. Her slots it ahead. Sierkowski again. Plays it back. And as they tried to swing it out to the near side, a little too far, the touch from Pimlott.
Guess Michigan State's not used to this fast Bermuda field.
Right.
They're probably used to a little bit longer, thicker Midwest grass, and perhaps that gets held up, that pass there back home. That's a good idea. Push Jake Rosansky through.
That's #9 who played it through, Sebastian Ennelly, the striker who can drop back a lot and sometimes act as a playmaker. I think the Terps like interchanging up there and keeping the back line for the opponents a little unbalanced. There's a lot of players on this team that can score, and the runs can come deep from anywhere, really. There's the right back. Odoy Atsam checking to is Wild. Instead back for Crognale. And he sort of lucks out a little bit. He lost it, but the Spartans can't keep it in play with Sierkowski, and now they have it again. Here is Amar Sejdic. Everybody back behind the ball for the Spartans. Here's the center back coming forward. Crognale curling it in toward the back post. Ellney's there, but it's punched away by Haig. Dealt with by Andrew Herr. His clearance is blocked, and now it's smashed away. 3 white-shirted Terps back there, and just a little bit of pressure from Sierkowski. Sulidenka. And now Crognale. 15 minutes gone here. Still no goals, some action at both ends. Odoy Atsam trying to go forward, quickly blocked down by Corrigan, and the Terps will reset it. A lot of freedom with the Terps midfielders. Williamson can drift out wide. Sejdic can play centrally or drift right. Right now it's Rosansky who's slid into sort of that point of the diamond. And this is the leading goal scorer who's dropped back to try to collect it. Bad touch there from Wild. Fighting to win it back. Good high pressure. A little too much pressure that time. Wild, a little late again, has to be careful. That one wasn't really that bad of a challenge, but he had that rough one before where he got a stern warning.
Yeah, I think he was just a little bit frustrated with himself there and took it out on a Spartan. He's going to be on a little bit of a short leash here, I think, as we continue through this half.
Free kick coming up as the Terps a little too aggressively coming down the back of Andrew Herr. So the free kick all the way out near the sideline. A little bit outside the attacking third for the Spartans, but they're going to send it into the mixer. Some of the big defenders coming forward. All of the Terps back in their defensive end. Free kick driven in, headed away by the first defender from Maryland, headed back in. Now Crognale heads it out. Knotted down, trying to incorporate Kurlicki, smashed away by the Terps. Flicked forward by Rosansky for Maryland, but nobody up there, so the Spartans can regroup. Wetungu, long diagonal ball past the intended targets, and out for a throw-in for Maryland. Eric Williamson, good skills there to create some space, and now he has the ball moving forward. Slotted out wide. Rosansky into the middle for Wild. It comes free for Sejdic to strike. Is powerful in dipping, but a little too high. He reacted very well to get to it. He didn't have a lot of time to line it up, but he concentrated and smashed it just a little bit over the crossbar.
Yeah, and Amir Sejdic is one of those guys that can hit that side volley with either foot, and that's certainly within his range. And those that have watched the Terps certainly have seen him score some great goals from distance, and that's just a great effort.
Yeah, you can see the creativity there as that ball comes to him. Just really great idea to try it like that. Didn't miss by much. Terps win it back after the long ball played forward. Crognale nods it back. Niedermeyer directing traffic, now sending everybody downfield. Nobody challenging there for Maryland. An easy defensive header for the Spartans. Danka blocks it away toward the far sideline. Lewis is there. Elects to let it go out and then takes a quick long throw. Nice idea there. Sierakowski forward. Sort of hemmed in on the sideline there. Good skills, and then Sierakowski gets brought down as he was running forward. That was very good by those two guys.
Looked like a tough challenge. I'm not sure it was a foul. Sasho is certainly pleading this case on the sideline.
A lot of times you'll see the ref sort of lose sight of the player who's making that sort of run off a 1-2, and then when they go down,
they're going to make that call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most good attacking players will sell that.
That's right. He did well in tight quarters to keep it in play. And now this free kick, similar to a few moments ago, but probably about 10 yards closer. So the last free kick was headed away by the first defender. Let's see if they can clear that first man this time. There goes Corrigan, high toward the back post, headed up, still alive. It bounces in the box, and it's a foul coming out. Dangerous. The players are sort of wrapped up around each other. But the free kick, as usual in those opportunities, goes against the attacking player. Too much grabbing. The ball is back in play quickly for Maryland. Elney tries to keep it out wide. Sejdic working with Wild. Keeps it moving ahead for Jake Rosansky. Good acceleration there from Fiskus to get there first. Knocks it out for a throw-in. You can see Wild there was open for a moment. Wanted the quick throw. Rosansky wanted to wait and throws it back for Sejdic. Ball across the field, intended for Odoy Atsem, but Danka didn't hit the target. You can see, Jeff, when Michigan State comes back, they're very well organized. You can see their formation and their shape very good. That 4-2-3-1, really well organized. It's going to be tough for the Terps to break them down.
Yeah, and that's a ball that Suli Danka you really got to take care of. That's a dangerous ball coming across, and if that gets picked, you know, you're opening yourself up to a counterattack pretty quickly there.
Lewis under pressure, going long, looking for Ryan Sierakowski. Gets there first. Not a great touch that time, but he did well to run it down.
Good job of holding it up for the Spartans.
Andrew Herr battling. It's knocked away by Rosansky, but the Spartans have it back. Here's Corrigan driving the cross in. Dangerous ball to the back post, headed away. Still not out of danger yet. It's alive. Herr juggling it up, goes down, no penalty. And headed back in.
Tell you, Corrigan can serve a great ball. When I saw the Michigan game, he was whipping some balls in from the left side, and certainly if Michigan State gets a corner kick on that far side, he's going to be sending in some in-swingers there, and they're very tough to deal with.
He took those two free kicks on the far side that were not very good, but that cross from the run of play was great, and a very good defensive header from Samuels. So good spell here for the Spartans. Some dangerous play in the attacking third, putting pressure on Maryland. That long throw is a little too long. Escorted out by, oh, they're giving a corner. He must have glanced off of, he did point to the corner, and he changed his mind. The referee ran up, blew his whistle, and then I don't know if he was looking at the assistant ref or what happened.
He might have, that's a little bit of miscommunication between him and his AR.
Odoy Atsem under pressure. Samuels.
I think Maryland's got to do a little bit more of that, just switching it a little bit quicker and trying to find some open spaces because Michigan State's so.
Sadic strikes it. Save. The rebound is there and rolling out. Good hit by Amar Sadic.
Yeah, great hit. And again, that's with the right foot, you know, and either foot he's going to be putting that on frame. But back to my point, I think Maryland's just got to switch the field a little bit more, and it'll open up a little bit some of those gaps and seams for them.
Not sure if Haig, the keeper, saw it late.
And that's tough coming off a slick Bermuda grass field.
Those in there, sure.
You know.
Sadic, who just took that shot that was punched out for the corner, going over to take the corner. Right in toward the Sigs, headed by Cronulla, deflected, and goes out on the other side. It's going to be a corner on the near side of the field now. Good ball that was played in. And Cronulla, the 6'5 defender, number 4, always one of the targets. He got his head to it, and it was blocked away. Damon Rensing, the coach for Michigan State, was outside of his coach's box, sort of down near the assistant ref. And the referee coming over to give him a reminder that he's got to stay in there. I don't know what he's so upset about. He's pointing down to the other end of the field.
Might have just been upset with the fact that he didn't get the penalty.
Yep.
You know, he's probably still thinking about that. But, you know, it didn't really look like it was a harsh foul. They just two guys colliding.
I agree with you. Sadic had to come all the way across the field for a corner on this side. It'll be an outswinger. There it goes, driven deep beyond the back post, headed down into the middle, and then smashed away by Lewis. Some of the Maryland players thought it may have come off his arm. His arm seemed right next to his body. Odoye-Atsem, who's over there because they had sort of changed their shape from the set piece. He knocks it out, and it's a throw-in for Michigan State. Odoye-Atsem blocks it away. Still acting as the left back now until they get a chance to get their shape back. Now he's jogging back to his right side. Ball back in play. Dangerous slow ball back by Baroni. Worked out okay. There's some space on the near side for Corrigan. Krolicki. Corrigan, the one-touch ball. Tried to slot it in there for Baroni. Blocked away by Cody Albrecht for the Terps. Santala in the middle of the field. The right back is Dewey Lewis. Krolicki's slid over into the middle. Good possession by the Spartans, moving it back and forth. Some room for Corrigan coming forward. A nice 1-2, blocked by Odoye-Atsem, just sort of threw his shoulder at it, not his arm. Cleared away by the Terps, who have had to do a lot of defending lately. Good work by Michigan State, keeping the ball and being dangerous when they move forward.
Well, having those two holding midfielders makes it a little bit easier to play out and keep it, you know. Where Maryland just has the one player in that diamond, they got to solve that a little bit on who's going to step up and pick up the other deep-lying midfielder for Michigan State.
Acrobatic overhead kick there. Not really a lot of opportunity to combine with your teammates there, but at least it got them out of danger. They weren't going to lose it in the middle of the field. Niedermeyer smashes it forward. Good elevation there from Fiskus to outjump Elney and head it away. Second ball settled by the Terps. Samuels for Eric Williamson, who couldn't keep it. Ryan Sierkowski up there by himself, tried to head it towards a spot where maybe his teammates could run onto it, but really they were a long way back that time from him. Cronulla under pressure from Sierkowski. Good skills by Odoye-Atsem. Running forward, he's got some space. Into the middle, Jake Rosansky. Players with him. He keeps it moving. Williamson crosses it early to the back post. Intended for the continued run of Odoye-Atsem, but that had a long way to go on the ground in the box. An alert play from Jimmy Hague to snag it.
Again, they did a good job of coming in from the right and looking out the other way, and just a little bit off on that cross. I think Eric Williamson just curls that away from that goalkeeper and into the path of his striker. You give him a little bit of a chance there.
It looked like maybe Odoyatsum could have even run to the near post and had a chance to get there first. Now, usually the outside back isn't making those near post runs, but there was some space. Williamson on that last play, playing it early. I wasn't sure if he maybe should have tried to cut it back and go himself, but it looked like it was probably the right decision to play it through. Elney giving chase and forcing the turnover as he made Wetungu play it. Amar Sejdic creates some space, and now Crognale coming forward. Out wide for Odoyatsem. Back in the middle for Sejdic. Great first touch, crosses it in. An alert play by Wetungu to head it away. Still alive. Albrecht trying to win it back. Spartans doing well to flick it ahead for Sierakowski, who does a nice job holding it up under pressure. 3 white shirts win it back. Samuels quickly back in toward the penalty area. Rozansky. Williamson's pinballing around. He gets it back. Odoyatsem with his head up. A lot of green shirts in the box waiting for the cross, so he decided to go backwards with it. And it's headed away again by the Spartans. Cody Albrecht. Lots of room for the center back to come forward. And then he gave it away. So dangerous if the center back comes forward and gives it away.
Yeah, that could have been a bad situation for the Terps there.
Good skills from Samuels to bring it down. Andrew Samuels crossing it. Blocked away. Good turn there by her, but he loses out. Jake Rozansky. Some room in the middle of the field. Crognale fires a shot that's blocked. He's out of position now. That's the center back. Headed forward by Baroni. If the Spartans can hurry, they might have a numbers up situation. It slowed down a little bit. The long ball intended for Korlicki. But now Michigan State with sort of a second wave of players coming forward. Slotted through, blocked away by Crognale, who read it very well, blocking the pass from Sentala.
He used all of his 6'5" frame there to intercept that pass.
Good work from Sentala to win it back. The foul goes against Maryland, a little too aggressive with the nudge in the back.
Well, it looked like he had his hands up on him.
He had both his hands on him.
That's, you're not going to get away with it there.
So Korlicki doing just enough to win the free kick. I couldn't tell if you could see in your picture that man, Sasha Swarovski, not happy with the call. But he did. I think he pushed him. He had both his hands on the small of his back, and it doesn't take a lot.
Yeah, anytime you bring your hands up, you're going to get called for that.
So here's Corrigan. Toward the 6. Bounces in the box dangerously. And it's out for a goal kick. That was a good ball. He dropped it in there. So some subs coming in now. For the Terps, it's number 11. That's DJ Reeves. And for Michigan State, number 6, DeJuan Jones. So Elney coming out for the Terps in favor of Reeves. And it's number 12, Herr, who is coming out for number 6, Jones.
Both coaches inserting players that are very athletic and have great speed. So, as you know, and that's common. You hear as we get later in this half, as players tend to wear down a little bit. Putting somebody on with some pace is a good option. Certainly, those that have seen Maryland know that DJ can get behind people and cause them problems.
Another sort of unusual thing about those subs, Andrew Herr came out for Michigan State. He leads their team and tied for the Big Ten lead with 4 assists. Coming in off the bench is the player he's tied with. Maryland's Reeves also has 4 assists. Really, in a reserve role, he might not even average 45 minutes a game. But when he's out there, he's effective. You mentioned his speed. He's also creative. 4 assists leads the Terps. So the two players tied for the conference lead in assists, coming on and coming off at the same time. Pretty strange. Long ball over the top. Headed away by Watungo. Terps doing a nice job winning that second ball. Sejdic has been active here in this first half. Nice 1-2. Here is Sejdic coming into the penalty area. Still Sejdic tries to shoot it, blocked. Rebound, chipped up, cleared off the line. Incredible. What a run from Sejdic, and at the last moment sliding in to block it away.
What a fantastic run by Amir Sejdic. Almost single-handedly
Now
beat
wait a minute.
four players.
The ref, the assistant ref is talking over to the ref. I think he might have signaled that it went in. I think they have the option today to take a look at the replay. Sage just kept running 2 times. It bounced back to him. Then he got the rebound, and he chipped it up. Very cool. Let's see what happens. Was blocked there. Save chipped up. That's going to be hard to tell. What an effort from Corrigan to slide in and keep it away.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to see it because the AR on the near side is blocked, and just based on the angle that he cleared that ball, his body was in the way. The only way you're going to tell is if there's a camera attached to the goal.
Yeah, that's the only way you'd know for sure. If we get another chance to look at it.
Tony, this is a first. I don't think we've ever seen referees stop a game and take another look at whether a ball has crossed the line.
This is one of the new initiatives available in the Big Ten. It's kind of an experimental thing. I don't think that it's going to be a conclusive replay. I mean, we took another look at it, and you can't really tell. And I don't know. The thing I don't know is I didn't see the assistant ref ever make a call. So if he said it went in, it's going to be tough to overturn.
Yeah, I didn't see the AR at all make any notion. You know, typically they just run up to midfield.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think the way he cleared it, the AR could not have seen that ball, even if it did go over the line. And there's so many bodies in there for the center ref as well.
We'll take one more look at it. The officials have made their decision that it was not all the way across the line. Connor Corrigan with a fantastic play.
Well, he could always ask the first row.
Yeah, sure.
behind,
just ask the home fans.
behind the goal there.
I mean,
they'll tell him.
You can sort of break it down like where his leg was based on the line, but there's just really no way to know. And
well, we're certainly seeing the talents of Amir Sejdic here tonight, aren't we? I mean, just how dangerous a player he can be.
That was fantastic. Fantastic offensive play, good save initially, and then Connor Corrigan, the outside back, with a fantastic play to keep his team 0-0. Eric Williamson flying forward, gets knocked down. He was going so fast, I don't think he was fouled, just sort of lost his balance with the contact. Long ball headed away toward the near side. Corrigan plays it forward. And there's some space now for Michigan State coming forward. Sierakowski has some room coming into the penalty area. Sierakowski cuts it back, shoots, deflected, and out for a corner. It came off the backside of Cronulla. It could have gone anywhere. That sort of had an own goal written all over it, but fortunately for the Terps, skips off him.
Especially the angle that Cronulla's going back. You know, if it hits him, you're right, Tony. More often than not, that's headed right toward the goal. And I'm not sure where Chris Adoyatsam is in this play. He's just too far up the field and just couldn't get himself back.
That was the first time Ryan Sierakowski had some space to run, and he was very, very dangerous.
And that's a challenge with Maryland because they love to push their backs up so far. If you can catch them on the counter, that's a way you can get a goal on them.
Corner into the mixer, headed away. It was Eric Williamson back there. And knocked out. Spartans still keeping up the pressure. after they had to stop play to look at that goal opportunity, see if it went across, seemed to sort of put some energy back into the game. The Terps are a little frustrated that it didn't go in. I mean, even the players can't really know when it happens that quickly. So Terps were a little fired up that the call didn't go their way. I'm sure a shot of adrenaline after the great play from Corrigan to keep it out.
Well, they got a little chance to catch their breath.
10 minutes,
Kind of a TV timeout.
Yep.
That's certainly a foul, if not a yellow card.
That was pretty
Come
bad.
from behind like that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. Terps captain Crognale over there, take another look. Going towards the ball, but that's pretty bad. Studs up. I didn't see a card. Pimlott is the player who's in trouble.
Well, each team probably got their warning now.
Yep.
Gordon Wild in the first few minutes. And
those were 2 fouls, one for each team that could easily have been yellows. The referee trying to just let him play.
And Pimlott gets the Michigan State warning. You know, I don't understand if you're Maryland that, you know, they build up so well. When they come out this right side, there's times they can get Chris Adoye-Atsem running 1 versus 1 against, you know, Michigan State's left back, Corrigan. And, you know, that to me, I think that's a situation where Maryland can take advantage of and maybe get in line and serve balls from deeper parts of the field. And Maryland doesn't have a left footer playing the left back position. Andrew Samuels is a natural right footer, so tendency for him is to come inside as opposed to getting end line. So, you know, in these spots here, can you isolate Adoye-Atsem and have him run into those spots deeper into the attacking third?
Sully Dink in the middle of the field has some space. Eric Williamson, good skills, now crossing it. Wild going after, blocked away. What a play by Watungu. Came out of nowhere to clear it away. Still not over yet. Another clearance coming in low.
Eric Williamson is very good creating things off the dribble and is a terrific passer. Just didn't get that cross in, but he's been very effective for the Terrapins this first half.
He's an unusual player, Eric Williamson. He can be at a standing position and still use his skills to get around players. Usually you want to be running at guys, but he just sort of stands there and keeps the ball at his feet so well he can get around players without a lot of speed running forward. Subs coming in now for Maryland at 17. Jorge Calix at number 6. George Campbell replacing Rosansky and Gordon Wild. And then number 7.
Hunter Baroni.
Hunter, yeah, the brother of Baroni number 10, Giuseppe Baroni. And it was Pimlott who was coming out for the Spartans. Long ball over the top, looking for the newly inserted player. Baroni headed away. Adoye-Atsem was the man that was there. Santala. And it's blocked away. Number 6 is George Campbell. Dangerous goal-scoring threat coming off the bench for the Terps. He's got about 7 minutes left to leave his mark. The other sub on the ball now, that's Calix. Williamson slots it ahead. One touch from Sejdic towards Campbell. It's headed forward. Headed away by the Spartans, and they settle it down. Hunter Baroni getting pulled from behind. The referee says play on. It comes for Maryland's Adoye-Atsem.
See, I like this patience from Maryland, and you know, if they stretch them a little bit left to right, then potentially these gaps through the center start to open up a little bit, where they can combine and run at players, which we've seen on a couple of occasions.
That time it sort of opened up in the middle of the overlapping run from Adoye-Atsem. They didn't even play it to him, but as he starts running forward, you get a little shift centrally from the defense. Opened up some room in the middle for Sejdic, but as he tried to sort of slot it ahead, it went past his intended target. That's why we have the goal kick here with 6 minutes to go in half number 1. No goals, but it's been a pretty entertaining first half. Chances both ways. The best chance coming from the Terps. It was chipped in past the keeper, And a diving, sliding play from Corrigan kept it out. May not have actually kept it out. We'll never know for sure, but the referees ruled no goal. They actually went over to look at the replay, and they could not tell based on the replays that we had here on Big Ten Network. I think it's probably the right call that it did not go all the way across the line. We'll see if we can get a definitive look at halftime.
And I think if you're Michigan State, you're happy it's still 0-0. I mean, Maryland has created a few, pretty good looks at goal.
Yep.
And, but Michigan State's also, there have been stretches where they've been able to keep it, and establish a little bit of possession. But Maryland has been the more dangerous team in the final third.
Good work there by the Terps. A nice sliding play by George Campbell to keep it alive, and then it was played through to DJ Reeves, who sort of tried to flick it behind him and go through the players. Almost managed to make it work. More subs coming in. Number 7 for the Terps is Connor Smith. Number 9 for Michigan State is Michael Marcantonini. Coming out is Giuseppe Baroni for Michigan State, and Eric Williamson out for the Terps. On ball forward for Sierkowski. Brings it down in his chest. Squeezed away by Connor Smith, who just came in and won the ball back. Calix plays it down the line for DJ Reeves. Nice first touch to keep it moving forward. Reeves. Calix. Samuels. In on the ground for Campbell, trying to turn. George Campbell gets clipped, and it comes out for Calix, who smashes it. Good skills there from Campbell. I thought as he did the Rocastle, he was fouled. The referee was right there.
Well, it looked like, that he might have let him play on. Calix had an open
there, sure.
look from 20 yards out. But any coach would prefer a free kick there.
Yeah, there's defenders all over him. There's no real advantage there. If it was a foul, I think he should have called
Sasha would like that free kick from 20 yards out over a shot from 25 that sails wide.
I'm not sure he was giving the advantage. Do you think he was for sure? He might have just not seen it as a foul. I don't know. Good skills by Campbell to control it with players all over him. It's ahead for Reeves. Good strength there to keep possession for the Terps. 3 minutes to go. Terps trying to get that goal right before halftime. Odoy Atsem, the cross sailing on him, right at the keeper. Good concentration by Haig. So on that ball there from Odoy Atsem, you think he should take that first touch and sort of accelerate toward the end line?
I think he should go at Corrigan. But,
Yep.
Michigan State, they know he's blessed with speed. You could see a second player quickly come to help Corrigan, so that forced his hand a little bit, and he had to serve it a little bit earlier. But certainly could have put a better ball in there for the Terps.
Connor Corrigan, long ball over the top, looking for the substitute. Marc Antonini headed away before it got to him. Terps coming back the other way. Sadich, tight quarters. He had 4 green shirts around him. Sent forward for Campbell. Chested down for his teammate. Calix trying to change the point of attack. Slowed it down a little bit. Bounced off the arm that time of DJ Reeves. He tried to take it down off his thigh. And the touch bounced up a little too high, hit his arm. There's a lot of depth on this Maryland team. 14 different players have either scored or assisted this year. So when the subs come in, there's not a big drop-off in terms of the talent. Certainly Reeves and Campbell could both be starters. Calix has been a starter with this team at times over the past seasons.
No question. And you look at Maryland's result in overtime these last few games. You know, winning 2 and tying 1 at Indiana. And those that saw that game certainly saw Maryland's depth help them in that overtime. They were very strong as that game headed into extra time.
Granale in the final minute sends it long toward Reeves. Heads it down into the middle. It's going to fall for Jorge Calix. Good work by Reeves. Connor Smith. Calix. One on two in for Smith. Keeps it alive. Back for Samuels. Albrecht in the final 30 seconds. Reeves tried to head it down. Gets it back off the defender. George Campbell. Out wide for Odoy Atsem. One-on-one. Odoy Atsem, good speed and skills and strength. No advantage here. They're giving the free kick. Final 10 seconds. They're going to have to hurry. Sadic. Curling it in. Headed away. That was really the best option to take it kind of quickly. One last cross in is right at the keeper. So a good finish by the Terps. They really were throwing guys forward trying to get that goal, but it did not come in the first 45 minutes, as we have seen over the past few games from Michigan State. They are very good defensively. Another half where they have not given up a goal. 3.5 games plus now. They've looked very organized defensively. The Terps, I think, a little more dangerous as the attacking team, but the Spartans have had their chances also. Probably a fair result through the first 45 minutes, Jeff.
Yeah, I thought I thought possession was pretty good by both teams. It seemed like Maryland had a few better looks at goal, and I think Michigan State's probably all right, we're 0-0. Let's get to half. Let's regroup and see what we can do to maybe create some better things off our possession. But Maryland's been pretty sharp and haven't really given up too many dangerous looks at their goal. So interesting second half. Should be a great 45 minutes.
Let's go downstairs to the third member of our broadcast team. That's Alex Flum, a junior here at Maryland, who's standing by with the coach.
We're here with head coach Sasha Sharovsky. It seems like they really zeroed in on Gordon Wild in that first half. You guys had to rely on Amar a lot. How did he look in the first half?
Yeah, I think Gordon was, was being keyed on a little bit, but I thought our whole team played really well. I thought our entire midfield probably had their best game of the year. In fact, our team, I thought, was doing everything right except putting the ball in the back of the net. So we've got to keep that pressure on. Just got to be a little bit maybe better with the cross, the shot. And we're in a good place right now.
And it seems like you guys really controlled the pace. How do you maintain that in the second half?
Yeah, the players are playing beautiful soccer right now. They're in a good place. I think they're probably a little disappointed we didn't get a goal. I expect us to come out on fire in the second half.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you, Alex. You hear the positive comments from Sasha Sharovsky. He's usually not too glowing. He always finds something wrong, but he seemed pretty happy with the way the team played. So, as you said, Jeff, a lot of things going right for the Terps. They just need to get that final ball the right way so they can get that first goal, which would certainly energize the excellent crowd here in College Park. So we are 0-0 at halftime. We're going to take a break, and we will come back very shortly with the second half. So keep it right here. The next 45 minutes coming up very soon.
Michigan State head coach Damon Remsing, the Terps and the Spartans tied up 0-0. First half, a lot of close action. What do you think is going to be the key in the second half for you guys?
We just got to. We actually got to the final third pretty well with some stuff. I thought we built the game pretty well. We just got to be a little more potent in the final third, quick, a little more movements, not settle for some crosses. They got some big center backs there. Defensively, we've been good.
And it seems like you guys have done a good job shutting down Gordon Wild. Are you going to keep closing in on him?
We're going to have to. He's a very good player along with several others. We just got to keep communicating, moving, and working together as a team defensively.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Alex. We're just about set to begin half number 2 here, 0-0, as Alex told you. I'm Tony Lamarzi, joined upstairs by Jeff Rohrman. We can take a look at some of the action in the first half. A dangerous cross that came in here ended up being a comfortable save. That was the only shot in the first half for the Spartans. And Amar Sadic, it's very active in that first 45 minutes for the Terps.
There's that great run by Sadic, and there's the shot that resulted in the video replay. Ground level view.
Well, it was a great effort defensively by Corrigan, and sometimes when you don't know, you reward the player who's making good effort. It was a great play by Sadic, but just really, he had to run so far to slide in there and keep it away. So many times you see guys slide in and sort of deflects off them and goes in. Great concentration by Corrigan.
I think next time he's just going to, knock it through the net.
Yeah.
That way there's no doubt. No doubt.
With skilled players like Sadic, sometimes you You love the powerful goals that really fly into the net, but also the ones that go in very softly, sort of show off your skill a little bit more. That time he tried to finesse it and was denied by a very courageous play by the outside back for the Spartans Corrigan. So, Jeff, you were telling us as we went into halftime that the Terps need to be a little sharper in the final third. That was the message from head coach Damon Rensing for his own team. So everybody seems like they were pleased with the way that first half went. And it's just going to be a matter of who can do a little better execution in the final 45 minutes. Here we go. And really, final 65 minutes, because if there's still no breakthrough, we'll have 20 minutes of overtime, as much as needed. Terps have had 2 golden goal wins. Both their wins in conference play coming in overtime.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to me, Tony, on how Michigan State kind of plays this second half, because, you know, at the end of the day, a tie on the road at Maryland is not a bad result. So it'll be interesting to see just how much they're going to push to get a goal versus maybe sitting back and just defending well and making life difficult for the Terrapins.
Lewis clears it out. Sort of a nonchalant backhand time from Baroni worked out pretty well.
Yeah, he's a very skillful player. Damon Rensing was talking about him earlier today with me. Really likes him. Good technical skill, creative. Spent some time in residency down in Bradenton with the national team.
Just a freshman. Giuseppe Baroni's got his big brother, Hunter, who came in late in the first half.
He's certainly not afraid of competing, having a few brothers in that family that have been through the Michigan State program. I think he's the 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Samuels won it back for the Terps and had his pass quickly blocked, trying to win it back again. Lots of players sliding in there. The first foul goes against Maryland, then a hard challenge after the whistle from Baroni. He sort of came through Albrecht, but those 2 players high-five, so no harm there. Just a free kick. No cards in that first half from referee Mark Kadlicic. The big moment that the ref had to decide about was that ball that was played towards the goal line, on the goal line, maybe all the way across, maybe not. No goal was given, and there was really no way to tell for sure if it went in. We had a couple replays looking at it. And without sort of the goalpost-mounted camera, you're never really going to know for sure. Cronulla back to the keeper. Niedermeyer. Sadich, not a great first touch, managed to use his skills to get out of trouble under pressure from Santala. Now there's some room for Gordon Wild running at the defenders. Tried to slot it through, broken up nicely and played away.
No, I was surprised he tried to play that. A lot of times Gordon Wild coming from right to left is going to try to get turned and crack a left-footed shot, even if it's from 35 yards out.
In the late stages of that most recent Penn State game for the Terps, they were throwing lots of players forward, and Gordon Wild sort of drifted out to the sideline so he could run at defenders like that. Over on the right sideline, so as he's coming toward the goal, he has it on his preferred left. He was very dangerous. That was the first time we saw him running the defenders today. So we'll see if that's something that Coach Sarofsky sort of wanted to single out for him to try to do that a little bit more. Terps in the attacking third again. Sadich, 1-2 to the end line for Adoy Atsum. Chips it up. Tried to sort of win the corner, I think, but it was well defended. Cleared away.
Yeah, they're not going to leave Adoy Atsum going 1v1 out there. You can see they're quick to get a player over there so he doesn't get end line and serve a ball freely.
Samuels loses out there to Herb, but the Terps win it back. Williamson trying to slide it through. Elney not on the same page with him, and the ball is smashed away. Just glancing header from Denka, who elevated just enough to get to that ball. Otherwise, Sierkowski would have probably been able to run forward at the Terps goalie. Some room for Amar Sadich. And now some room on the dribble for Wild. Closed down quickly. Nice 1-2. Gordon Wild into the penalty area on his right. A collision and still alive. And now swept away. The referee not interested at all. Players all came together.
You know, Maryland's been able to, in the early parts of the second half, get their midfielders receiving the ball and turning and running at the goal. You know, Michigan State just has to tighten up their midfield defending there and make it a little bit tougher for the Terps. They're just able to turn and knock balls in freely and go at them.
Rosansky to the end line, curling to the back post, headed down. He didn't go for goal. Wild was there, just about a yard away. He tried to head it back for one of his teammates.
Well, Tony, I think the angle was a little bit tough. I think, you know, he probably didn't feel he could get it on frame, but great run by Rosansky and a terrific ball.
Eric Williamson into the box, coming across, just rolled away from a little tiny bit and he couldn't pull the trigger. Excellent beginning to this half for the Terps. But now counterattack is on. There's some room for her, and couldn't quite interact with his teammates there. That was dangerous. They were about 3-on-3 when it came out. Good fighting by Baroni to take it away. Lots of white shirts back. Still Baroni moving forward. Finally, Sadich pulls it away. Baroni wanted a foul. Looked like Sadich got his foot right on the ball that time. Crognale galloping forward. Sebastian Elney. Good skills from Elney. Now the cross. Crognale still up there, headed away. Rosansky does well to keep it alive. Albrecht. Hard pass out there for Sadich. You have to stretch to keep it. Scooped up, looking for Elney. Wasn't quite ready for it. I like that little spoon idea, but not exactly on the same page with Sebastian that time.
Just very creative play by Amir Sadich. Maryland's come out. They got their foot on the pedal here in the early goings of the second half.
Header won by the Terps, but sort of pinball around off the back of the head of her. Now high pressure for Michigan State.
Well, that was a little bit of a lazy ball by Albrecht there. Put his defender in trouble there.
A throw from Lewis into the middle for Baroni. Santala keeps it moving. Tagging the ball on the ground, cut out there by Samuels for the Terps, sends it long for Elney.
See, I think that's what Damon Rensing's talking about. A couple occasions they've got the ball on the edge of the final third, and they just can't connect it in with their forwards. You know, whether their forwards aren't holding it or the pass is a little off.
Baroni had some space, fires it wide. Well, you go back to that last header opportunity from the Terps, and of course no one has to tell Gordon Wild to look for the goal. It seemed like he had a chance to go for a goal. He must have been on the outside of the post, though, and didn't think he could stuff it in there.
Well, I was a little surprised there weren't more Terrapin players in the box as well. Usually, there it is right there. And
I don't even know if he saw someone he was trying to pick out or if he was just sort of putting it back into the middle for anybody to be there.
Well, it looked like Elney was the only one in there, and there were
he had a long way to go to
three
get to
green
header.
jerseys, you know, smothering him.
Well, I'm interested to find out what he saw on that play because I thought he should have just tried. He was so close that he didn't have to put really hardly any power on it. But as I say, this is the leading scorer in the conference. Far be it from me to tell him how to score goals. Some room for Elney, who's dropped deep to collect it. Running at the defenders again. Sprays it out wide. Odoyatsam. One-on-one. There goes the cross. It's deflected and it's in. Is he onside? Yes! It's going to count. Jake Rosansky in the right place at the right time. I think he was trying to get out of the way and it bounced off his leg and right in. Sometimes it helps to be lucky. Again, it's 1-0 for the Terps.
Chris Odoyatsam getting wide, getting in line, and serving a good ball, giving his teammates a chance. And good things happen when you get numbers in the box. And like you say, Tony, Jake Rosansky, right place, right time.
You had mentioned that Michigan State always throws that second defender, so when Odoyatsam gets there, right?
A little bit late.
Just
actually
to the end line.
Didn't take up a very good position for to cover.
He's trying to get out of the way. I don't know if he thought he was offsides. He must have thought he was offsides or else he would have just knocked it in. But The flag stayed down. I couldn't tell in that replay if he was in an offside position when it came across.
Well,
But-
it happened so fast,
Yeah.
you know, for that ball to come out. Michigan State just didn't have a chance to push up. And Terrapins break through first, 10 minutes or so into the second half. Well, this will open Michigan State up a little bit. They're going to have to throw a few more numbers forward, and looks like it ignited the Terrapins. They're going right at Michigan State.
Good running the other way from Lewis, weaving through players. Andrew Herr battling with Denka. Well, Sully Denka extended the arm a little bit. I don't think he threw the arm.
Yeah, once you get your elbow up and, you know, again, Dewey Lewis is a right back. He's a guy who's got great pace. They're going to, you know, if they're going to get back in this game, they're going to have to start pushing a guy like him up, getting him involved going forward.
He started that play with a long run before sliding it through to Herr, who got hit in the throat. Let's take another look at the goal. So Eric Williamson.
Yeah, it just
Was
looked like
going for
Krolicki
goal.
on that play. Just
Yep.
didn't take up a very good cover position and let Chris Adoyatsam get a free service in the box.
Probably the first time they didn't really have the other guy over there. And maybe with all the running at the defenders the Terps were doing, Krolicki was sort of making sure he could help out centrally and didn't get over in time.
Yeah,
Terps
it could
gonna
have
have
been
to-
Corrigan was supposed to push him inside.
Yeah.
And then maybe that's what Krolicki was expecting and wasn't able to do so.
High cross toward the back post, headed away by Cronales, still alive for the Spartans. The second ball played in, headed back across, still alive, going past the back post, volleyed into the air, collision in front. The Michigan State players wanted a penalty because Niedermeyer clearly shoving there, but he was also just clearing a little space. That would have been a very tough penalty, even though we did see him sort of push there. And then the Terps win a free kick coming out. Everybody on the bench wanted the penalty. I mean, you could see the goalie sort of shove the player. I guess it was risky.
Well, a lot of times it's gonna be called obstruction, you know,
Right.
impeding the goalkeeper's path and all that.
Creative
And
ball there.
well, he did get his arms up.
That was a tough one. I'm pretty sure if we see something like that in the center circle where a defender shoves like that, they'll give the
Yeah.
free kick for sure.
Well, the thing is, if an attacking player does that to the goalkeeper, he's getting that
Of course.
call, you know. So
Yeah, that was a tough one. If they had given the penalty, there's no real arguing that he shoves him. But at the same time, usually the goalie gets a little leeway.
yeah, they get the benefit.
Wow. Long driven ball flicked forward, coming towards her. He's going to get to it at the edge of the box. Andrew Herr looking for some players to cross it to. He's their main assist man. Baroni teeing it up. Now cross it to the back post. There was a lot of space there, but no Spartans could fill it in. Sierkowski's going to run it down. It's still not over yet for the Spartans. Another cross into the mixer. Headed away by the Terps. Coming out towards Wild. Gets to it first. And good work by the two holding midfielders there. Pimlott and Santala worked together. Thought they were going to keep possession, but at the very least they slowed down the Maryland attack. There were three white shirts trying to go all the way coast to coast. And they did a nice job breaking it up there. High pressure from Sierkowski for the Spartans. Knocks it out. Another throw-in. Wild trying to use his heel to flick it through for Sebastian Elney. It was pretty crowded over there. The Spartans managed to take it away. Nice ball played out wide by Pimlott. Coming the other way are the Spartans. This is Herr coming into the middle. Baroni. Andrew Herr made that nice run toward the middle, and then when he saw his teammates go backwards, he sort of looked skyward in frustration. He was trying to be aggressive going forward, and they elected to keep possession, but lost a lot of the momentum they had moving forward.
Well, we're seeing a lot more urgency out of Michigan State since they're down a goal.
Free kick going against Sadis there, who didn't like it. The referee said he was grabbing his shoulder. I'm sure he was grabbing his shoulder. It's not always enough to win a free kick, though. Andrew Herr, number 12, one of the seniors for the Spartans, one of the players, as you said, trying to pick up the intensity and get the team moving forward. There's a lot riding on this game. Michigan State perfect in conference play at 2-0. The Terps already have one tie, so even if the Spartans could get a tie, it would keep them sort of half a game above Maryland. They also have won 4 in a row. They want to keep it moving.
Yeah, and Maryland's got everybody back on this, trying to preserve this lead.
High in toward the 6, headed wide. Sierkowski got to the ball first. It was deflected, apparently. It's funny because all the Spartans were getting back into position, so the ref didn't even have to make a call. Right? Everybody was going back for the Spartans. You could see the green shirts moving back. And then they was like, oh, okay, we'll take the corner. Now, I don't know if it was deflected by the Terps or not. I just saw all of the Spartans conceding the goal kick. So a free corner for Michigan State. We'll see if they can take advantage. Dewey Lewis out there. The right-footed player is going to curl it in. And another set piece for the Terps to defend. High in the air toward the back post. Headed away. That one may have been deflected as going toward the end line. Kept in play anyway by the Spartans. Two players there sort of got in each other's way. And now it's a 2-on-2 if they can hurry. This is a Doi Atsam all the way forward. Wild has it. Slots it out there offsides. The flag is up. The referee now looking over.
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, you can see the line.
Yep.
You know, you just got to be a little bit patient and open yourself up a little bit there. And then just clear out, because Chris Doi Atsam is the fastest kid on the field.
Spartans flying back the other way. It's slotted out wide. Cross toward the back post here. Kowski heads it, saved. There was nothing else he could do but just sort of try to redirect it on frame. Not a lot of power, but very creative to knock it back in there.
Great run by Sierkowski. He ran by 3 Terrapins and then ran past 2 defenders, and nobody wanted to go with him.
Good positioning by the Terps keeper Niedermeyer. He had to be in the right place. That was headed from such close range. If he'd had to reach for it, he would not have had hardly any time to react. So good positioning by Niedermeyer. Oh, it was a deep run from Santala. He ran a long way for that one. Excellent effort to get forward.
Yeah, it looked like the three Terps could have stopped him, 30, 40 yards up the field, but he just kept going past him. But you can certainly sense and feel that urgency and Michigan State pushing to get this equalizer.
It's early in the season here in the Big Ten, but everyone knows this is an important game. I mean, the Terps, with the unbalanced schedule, you never know how the home games are going to fall. I mean, year to year, they just alternate. So this is a really big game for the Terps at home. Michigan State, they have that half-game advantage, still not having tied any games. So even if they could get that tie, like I said, that would be a good result. And you don't get a second crack at these teams. It's sort of like the football schedule. You get everybody once. So if you lose to a team, it's really hard to gain ground. Niedermeyer just barely getting it past the high pressure from Sierkowski. All the way down at the other end. Good high pressure from Wild and couldn't quite win the corner. Nice job there by Michael Tungu to use his strength, shielding the ball all the way across for a goal line. Subs coming in a moment ago was DJ Reeves returning for the Terps. And for the Spartans, DeJuan Jones, he played in the latter portion of that first half, so he's back out there. Jimmy Haig. Albrecht heads it back. Sadich. Reeves, who just came in, trying to knot it down for Wild. Broken up there nicely by Fiskus. Possession for the Spartans. Sierkowski plays it back for Sintala, who sort of got clipped as he was trying to go past. Now Rosansky getting in the way. Now they're going to stop the clock. It might be a yellow card here for Rosansky. That was pretty obvious, delaying a restart. But once again, the referee showing a little bit of patience. The clock is stopped. Now it's rolling again. Didn't see a lot of reason why Rosansky was trying to break up the play like that.
And again, in college, you get 5, you sit a game. So, as a coach, you don't want a player taking a silly yellow. At the same time, you want the ref to try to manage his, yellow cards and use them appropriately and when needed to kind of control the game.
Yeah, I think at the time I thought maybe he should have given a card at the very beginning, but even with the stern warning, it seems to have sort of settled it down. It's been a good, aggressive game. I don't see a lot of dirty play out there, so the referee's done a nice job. Terps are making another substitution. Connor Smith returning after playing in the first half. And Amar Sadish is going to take a rest. I would imagine he's come back. He will come back. He's been pretty active. Maybe tiring a little. Get him a quick breather. Get him back in there.
Yeah, he logged a lot of minutes in that first half. And they were high-quality minutes for sure.
Careless hitter back there. Reeves nods it down, looking for Wild. Good first touch, battling. DJ Reeves is in front. Shoot, save, rebound, another save. Incredible. Haig twice denying DJ Reeves from point-blank range. The Terps should be up 2-0. Amazing reflexes by Jimmy Haig.
A couple of great saves. In fact, the second one, I think, may have hit his head. We'll have to take another look, but terrific reflex saves.
Good work between the two strikers there. DJ Reeves. Wow.
Not sure if he got it with the hand or the head. Either way, it was just a great save.
Connor Smith gets sort of nudged down right as he's trying to hit it. Good alert plays from the keeper for sure on those saves, but I think DJ has to really do a little better from that range. I mean, they're two very central shots. He's got the whole goal to either side. He can just roll it in.
Yeah, and a lot of times keepers go down. If he just elevates that a couple of feet, it's over his foot.
We mentioned Reeves, one of the good attacking players, creative players off the bench, still has not scored. He does lead the league in assists. He's in front again. Campbell couldn't get all of it. Sort of scuffed it. Good running again by Reeves, and now the long counterattack. Just one player up there is Sierkowski, and the angle was not quite right on that long distribution.
You're seeing Sasho use some of that depth. Even, he didn't substitute that this early in that first half.
Right.
Now he's getting some of his starters a little bit of a breather, and like you allude to, that we're gonna probably see all of these guys back at some point.
Reeves going a little too aggressively, not playing the ball that time, just sort of used his body to get Fiskus out of the way. One more look here. DJ Reeves right in front.
It was his hand. He got it. What a quick quality save that was.
High pressure from the Terps. Campbell flying at Fiskus, who just barely got it past him across to his teammate Watungu. Spartans playing it forward. One back by Maryland. Albrecht. Rosansky using some skills to create space. Jake Rosansky, the man whose goal now stands up as the game winner. Spartans looking to equalize. Chipped up. Out comes the keeper. Niedermeyer didn't handle it. It's loose and swept away. Great run there by Andrew Herr to sort of, I think he affected maybe the vision at the last moment. And the ball was there for, seemed like a little while sitting there before
run
O'Doy
by Herr. And I was a
reacted.
little surprised Andrew Daniels let him get the inside track.
Yep.
He's got to be on the other side of him, and if anything, let him get the ball out wide. Certainly not down the middle of the field.
Long throw coming in toward the 6. Headed down. It's loose. Campbell back defending. Looked like it may have come off an arm there. Clear by Albrecht. Connor Smith chests it down nicely. Moving forward. A little too lackadaisical with it, though. And the Spartans win it back. Here comes Baroni running toward the penalty area. Lost it. Doy Atzem. Rosansky ahead. They're 2-on-2. Reeves running down the middle of the field is Campbell. DJ Reeves. Still Reeves. Still Reeves. Good skills. Cuts it around. It comes for George Campbell. Teeing it up on his left. Didn't want to pull the trigger with his left. Tried to bring it back to his right.
Well, that was a good counterattack. Just a little unfortunate not to get the shot off. DJ Reeves did a great job cutting the player off just as he got past him. You know, that's terrific work by him.
Free kick there goes against Odoy Atzem. The fans don't like it. It's Giuseppe Baroni who wins the free kick. This is a good defensive team, Michigan State, and when you have a little window to shoot, I think you really have to do it. Once you cut it back, it's going to have to be perfect, the skills you use to create some more space. And that time Campbell had it on his left, and
I think he just tried to use his momentum to cut it back and get a little better angle to get a shot off. But you're right, Tony. I think, you know, obviously he's right-footed. That's his preferred foot.
Dangerous free kick, chipped up right toward the keeper. Niedermeyer saw it the whole way. Long distribution from Cody towards Rosansky. Was over his head, but headed out by Michigan State. Throwing for the Terps. Coming up toward the 20-minute mark here in half number 2. Terps leading 1-0. Jake Rosansky scores. It's going to be an assist from Eric Williamson. It was actually, I think it was a shot from Williamson that was going wide and redirected into the goal by Rosansky, his second of the year. Campbell trying to slide it through for Reeves. Not quite on target. Blocked away. Albrecht has it. Slots it down the left side. Here's Andrew Samuels. To the top of the box. Connor Smith keeps it moving. Eric Williamson couldn't get to it. Blocked away by Michigan State. Here comes Ryan Sierkowski. Cronali steps up and blasts it forward. High pressure now from the Terps. Reeves and Campbell trying to win it back. Played out. Good pressure there also from Williamson. And now the long throw for Michigan State. Suli Denk has a little trouble with it. Manages to knock it off of the Michigan State player, Herr.
Looks like Krolicki's going to come back into this game for Michigan State.
Smith moving forward. High pressure from the Terps trying to win it back after that nice run by Connor Smith. Williamson and Samuels comes out for Smith. Back for Eric Williamson. Plays it in for Jake Rosansky. Good skills. Coming toward the penalty area. Out wide for Campbell. George Campbell cuts it back on his right. Curling it in. Headed away toward the top of the box. Terps trying to win it back. Good job there by Andrew Herr to control it. Tried to team up with Baroni, but it's broken up by Albrecht. Connor Smith again. Rosansky for the Terps, and now Odoy Atzem. DJ Reeves. Rosansky again running at the defenders, wins the free kick. After the foul was given, the defender, Watungo, kicked the ball right back at Rosansky, who was down on the turf. I don't know if he did it on purpose.
Maryland kind of withstood that rush from Michigan State after that goal, and you know they're starting to get a little bit more of the ball in the attacking half now and put some things together here. So
watch the ball come in, smash right into him. I don't know if he meant to do it. The Terps have been much better in the second half, Jeff, really dribbling the ball at the defense and making the Michigan State players sort of commit one way or the other, and it has been effective for them. They've won a free kick here. Cronali is forward. Curled in toward the back post. There's Cronulla, heads it down. It's loose, and it's an own goal. 2-0 for Maryland. Cronulla headed it across, flying back to help defend was Pimlott. Nothing he could do. It deflected off of his leg into the back of the net. You always feel for a player as he holds his head as the ball is rolling in. It was a good defensive play. There was nothing really he could do to keep it out.
Well, that comes right from the practice field. You know, it's just a great serve by Rosansky and a terrific ball by Cronulla to put it back. And when you get defenders facing their own goal, that's what happens. Right there, Pimlott, you know, he's got to get his hips turned, then at least it bounces out instead of bounces in. So that's kind of the cushion Maryland was looking for, but terrific execution on the set piece there by Maryland.
I think
and that's the guy you're
replay.
Targeting is Cronulla.
Yes,
he
every
did
time.
a good job. His angle wasn't right, so he did a great job of putting it back across the goal.
Putting it in a dangerous place, absolutely. I think one of the other Michigan State players deflected it before it came off of Pimlott, so a lot going wrong there for the Spartans. Trying to quickly get one back. There is a corner coming up now, coming up on the 17-minute mark, but certainly with a 2-0 lead at home, the Terps in a good place with under 17 to play now. Terps only have one shutout all season, so something that I know Sasha Sarovsky, the head coach, is focusing on is making sure the defense stays sharp. They got a lot of attacking firepower, but they need to tighten it up just a little bit on defense. And a shutout here against one of the top teams in the conference would be a pretty good statement. Curled in, it bounces. Connor Smith was there, just let it go. I'm not sure what the communication was like from the keeper, but it worked out okay for the Terps that time.
Yeah, there's been a couple of occasions where the line has stepped up and a ball's come in, and one of the Terrapins have been holding them on or keeping them on side by not getting up. So certainly an opportunity to talk about some things at practice next week.
Cody Niedermeyer. Long ball skipping through towards DJ Reeves. The second ball's coming out for Calix, who just came in the goal. Connor Smith ahead for Campbell. Good turn, but it was toe poked away at the last moment by Dewey Lewis. Good recovery that time by the outside back for the Spartans. Out wide for Corrigan. Long cross, looking for Jones. Deflected away toward the sideline. Throwing for the Spartans. Lewis fires a shot, saved by Niedermeyer. What a hit from the outside back who came forward. Find themselves just 20 yards away and crushed a shot. Niedermeyer may have seen it late, but did well to block it away.
That's a great hit by Dewey Lewis and a terrific save by Cody Niedermeyer because the thing was knuckling. He just wanted to get a hand on it.
This game is not over. 15 minutes to go. Things change very quickly here in college soccer. The clock stops, so it sort of gives the team from behind an opportunity.
Well, and 2-0 can be a bit of a dangerous lead, and Michigan State's not going to let up. You know, whether you lose 2-0 or 3-0, they're going to start pushing people forward and trying to get one as early as they can and try to make Maryland a little bit nervous down the stretch of this game.
Hopeful ball sending that time towards Campbell. Baroni. Dropping back is Sierakowski to collect it. Over to the near side. This is Jones. Overlapping is Lewis. Instead, Jones coming into the penalty area. DeJuan Jones shoots deflected, and it's out for another corner. Good response from the Spartans.
Yeah, Dewey Lewis getting forward and creating some numbers up situations there for the Spartans.
Nice run by DeJuan Jones, aggressively getting into the penalty area. Here's that strike from before. Wow.
He got
really
all
see
of
it
that.
knuckling there. No rotation at all. That was a good hit and a good save.
There's Corrigan hitting this in-swinger.
Curling toward the back post. It's bobbled, blocked again by Niedermeyer. He had it in his hands but couldn't squeeze it, and then did enough to block the rebound. On the far side, going after it was Krolicki. Good job by the Terps defending. It goes all the way out for a goal kick. Players returning here for Maryland. Two of the starters, 9 and 10. That's Elney and Sadich. Leaving, DJ Reeves, and also Connor Smith. And Brad Santala returning in place of Pimlott. There's Connor Smith finally making it to the bench.
You know, it's funny. I mean, Maryland gets a second goal with a few of their starters off the field.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, if you're the opposing coach, you're like, okay, let's try to get back in this. And all of a sudden, the starting lineup's back on the field for the last 12 minutes.
And they're fresh after their
And
break.
they're fresh, absolutely.
Jones, dangerous cross. Out comes Niedermeyer. He headed it while he was in the penalty area. Must have lost his bearings a little bit. I think it was in the box. He decided not to grab it.
Better safe than sorry there. And good job by Cody Niedermeyer.
Spartans going for broke here, trying to get back into this game. Sierakowski still has it coming forward. They try a 1-2, broken up by Cronale. Tries to spoon it there. The shot coming back and is wide. Cronale needs to probably be a little bit more careful, using sort of a cutesy sort of clearance.
But one of the Spartans lays it off and makes a run to get in behind, and nobody runs with him.
Yeah.
You know, that's the Terps they got to track players in those spots there, and that could have been a dangerous situation for them.
Cronale did a nice job cutting out that pass as we could see the run from Sierakowski streaking through, but clearance was not very careful. This is a team, as I mentioned, looking for their first shutout in a long time. Long ball over the top. Elney gets to it first, falling towards Campbell. Still high pressure from Sebastian Elney. And it's out. Last touch by the Terps. Denke into the middle of the field. Rosansky. Sadich. Puts on the brakes, changing the point of attack. Odoyatsem. In for Sadich, keeping possession back. Rosansky. Odoyatsem. Tried to sort of scoop it up for the overlapping run there. But then he does a good job to win it back. Toward the end line, crosses it in. Elney's there. I think it was a little behind him. Was he trying to backheel that one maybe? It goes out for a goal kick.
All he had to do was let it go through his legs.
Yeah.
Calix, I think it was Calix was sitting there, or Samuels. No, that was Calix on the 6.
Starters coming back for Michigan State after a very short rest for her and for Pimlott. Final 10 now. Desperation starting to sink in on Michigan State. The ball back in play from Haig. It's funny, there were two really good opportunities for the Terps. They had that play in the first half where the ball was cleared off the line. They had that play from DJ Reeves in the second half where they really should have scored. But the two goals that Michigan State gave up, kind of very unlucky goals. The one just redirection from Rosansky, and then the own goal, right?
Yep.
Cross driven in, quickly blocked out, and it's out for a throw-in. Some of the big defenders coming forward. Fiskus running up. Everybody back inside the penalty area, even George Campbell now coming back to the top of the box. The long throw into the mixer, headed away. Second header cleared back toward the sideline. Michigan State is going to have it back. And another cross coming in. Cronale heads it away confidently. It's out for a corner.
Well, Michigan State puts
Everybody in the 6 there.
Yeah, I
huh?
was going to say they put 6, 7 guys inside the 6-yard box.
They have 3 players hanging out above the top of the penalty area for the second ball that's coming out. More players going into the 6. Incredible.
Well, this is where you mentioned to the or the referee about a possible obstruction there.
Kurlicki sends it back in. Terps battling for it. Michigan State wins it again. This is Jones. Sliding in is Albrecht. Excellent play to slide, sort of collected with his feet and bounced up very quickly. But the Terps give it away.
Yeah, Terps had a good chance to counter there. Michigan State had all those bodies forward, and they just gave it right back to them.
Trying to slide it through for DeJuan Jones, but it is past him and out for a goal kick. Two subs are prepared to come in for Maryland. Returning is number 19, Eric Williamson. And for the first time, we're going to see Emmanuel Corva, number 26. A versatile player. He can play up top and run around as a striker. He's also been used as a defender. Let's see where he comes out now. Rosansky's coming out, as is Kalix. And Emmanuel Corva looks like he's going over to play the right side of midfield. Looks like it.
Well, the other thing he gives the Terps is a bigger body.
Yep.
You know, late in this game, Michigan State's going to start, you know, putting some more balls, some longer balls up the field, and you know, especially in set piece situations, you got another guy with some size in there.
Williamson working with Sadich to win it back. Comes forward a little bit behind Campbell. Long driven ball. Cronulla stepped up very high to head that ball. And then flying in is Denka. And they're going to get a low bridge there against Michigan State. Denka came jumping in, but he did get his head right to the ball, so you can't give a foul against the Terps there. Once the whistle blew, the only call was the low bridge there as, yeah, Sierakowski didn't like the call, but, I mean, you saw the defender there just going, putting his head right to the ball. High pressure from George Campbell, sliding in to try to keep it in. And the referee is
in the
pointing to the corner. Yep.
It's good work by George Campbell.
Coming up on 5.5 minutes. DJ Reeves is returning.
As is Baroni for the Spartans.
And
the younger Baroni.
I didn't see who came off there for Maryland. Nobody came off yet. Now Campbell finally getting the word, making his way to the sideline. Sadich's corner, driven in, over the head of the keeper. He got a little piece of it. Still alive. Samuel sends it back in, headed down. Blocked away there by Lewis. Deflected away by Elney. Streaking forward was Michael Beckett, but it was deflected, last touched by the Spartans. So under 5 minutes to go now. Samuels throwing it down for Elney, uses his body to get to it. Dewey Lewis defending, the clearance, pinballs around, comes towards DJ Reeves for the Terps, but Reeves commits the foul.
A little surprised he made that call. Michigan State had the ball and
yep,
heading up the field. Almost put him at a disadvantage by making that call.
Long ball over the top. Denka's there, dangerous header into the middle. Maybe he knew that there was nothing but white shirts there. Picked up by Sadich and played out wide. Here's the substitute with the freshest legs out there, Emmanuel Corva. Sends the long ball forward toward Reeves. Headed away by Fiskus. Possession for the Spartans. Time running out, though. They're still down by 2 in the final 4 minutes.
That was a good play by Fiskus. That's a difficult ball, skipping up off the ground and measured it well.
This is a good team, Michigan State. They have not been very lucky today, but they're organized defensively. They have good ability to go forward.
You know, this is a good game for them to learn some things about themselves. You
sure.
know, and improve as a group moving forward here in Big Ten play. And, you know, as Coach Damon Rensing alluded, you know, they have had stretches where they've had good possession, but now they can to work on some of the things in that final third, being a little sharper, getting a little more in sync. But it's always a challenge coming into College Park and playing Maryland here.
DJ Reeves was trying to poke it away and keep the counterattack moving, but the foul was given. Looked like he sort of came through the leg of the Spartan player there. Clock is.
The referee's been calling those all night,
yep.
So it shouldn't come as a surprise. Anytime a player's gone through another one to get the ball, the whistle's usually been blown.
Clock is stopped here, so the Terps can make a sub. That's the big man, 6'5" freshman Donovan Pines coming in, wearing number 2, and Odoy Atsam making his way off the field. A little bit uncomfortable, as you can see by his face there. Lewis sends into the mixer, blocked away by Reeves, comes back out for her. His strike is deflected. Still alive, though, near the top of the box. And there's Pines, plays it out for Williamson. Players running forward for the Terps. Eric Williamson slots it ahead for Sebastian Elney. He's got players with him. Elney slots it through, onside, Pines shoots, and it's blocked away by the keeper. Haig has been very, very good today with a lot of wonderful reflex saves.
That was a great save. It's rare you see a 6'5" center back on a breakaway.
Excellent ball played, well-timed run.
That's a terrific save. Well trained to keep that foot on the weak side, down low and out. I think Donovan Pines is going to get some ribbing at practice about that.
Corner cross in, deflected, still alive. The volley right at the keeper makes another good save. It fell perfectly for Elney. He kept his volley down on target, but right at the keeper, and no rebound for Jimmy Haig.
Haig's been very good tonight. He's been excellent.
So we were talking about the positives for Michigan State. You can throw in having a very solid keeper back there as well.
No question. He's been outstanding.
DJ Reeves, good skills. Crosses it in dangerously toward the back post over the head of Elney. Throw in taken by the Spartans. Coming up on the final minute, the Terps are going to remain perfect at home. They're going to remain unbeaten in Big Ten play, and they're going to hand the Spartans their first defeat in conference play and stop their 4-game winning streak. So a lot of positives today. Terps picking up 6 points in their 2-game homestand here in conference play. Now they're going to go on the road to take on Northwestern, one of the teams that is at the bottom of the conference, but still a dangerous team on the road.
Yeah, just coming off a tie against Indiana.
Yeah.
So and that's a tough place to play up there in Evanston. You know, it's a turf field, so it's something different, you know, than what the players are used to playing on. It's right on the lake, so you can get some elements that might affect the game. And Tim Lanahan up there does an outstanding job. They're always a tough team to play against and break down.
That game coming up on the 30th, which is a week from today. So after that, after this win, the Terps are about to wrap up here as we're now in the final 10 seconds. They're going to have a week off to prepare for that Northwestern game. Sasha Zarofsky is going to be happy with that first shutout since all the way back of the first home game of the year on August 29th. So a convincing performance here from the Terps. It was a good performance for Michigan State, but they